Bro, the referee who stopped the Usyk versus Rico fight just admitted something. Something that changes this entire story. Something that Rico's trainer Peter Fury found out on the flight home. And when you hear what referee Lyson said to Peter Fury's face on that plane, you are going to understand exactly why Rico Verhoeven is now going off about the rematch being avoided and why the boxing world has completely lost its mind all over again. Stay with me, because this detail landed today and nobody is talking about it enough. Here is where it gets crazy. Alright bro, let's build this properly because every single day since Saturday night, this story keeps getting bigger and we need the full picture. So here is the baseline. Saturday, Pyramids of Giza, Egypt. The Glory in Giza event. Oleksandr Usyk, undefeated, 25 wins, beat Anthony Joshua twice, beat Tyson Fury twice, WBC heavyweight champion, faces Rico Verhoeven, a kickboxer with one professional boxing match on his record. The whole world expected Usyk to handle this in 4 or 5 rounds and move on. It was supposed to be a stay-busy fight before a bigger matchup. No cap. What actually happened over 11 rounds was one of the most stunning performances in recent boxing history. Rico came in with a full game plan built by trainer Peter Fury, Tyson's uncle, and executed it to near perfection. High guard, constant pressure, double jab, using his 25-pound weight advantage to bully Usyk into the corners round after round. Usyk looked flat, looked slow, looked like a man who genuinely did not respect his opponent until it was too late. Going into round 11, multiple observers had it 7 rounds to 3 for Verhoeven. 2 of the 3 ringside judges had it dead even after 10 rounds. The third had Rico ahead. And then, round 11. Usyk finds his right uppercut, drops Rico for the first time all night. Rico beats the count. Mouthguard comes out. The corner reinserts it, giving Rico a few valuable extra seconds. Fight restarts. Usyk piles on. Rico is hurt, but his hands are up, still defending. And with 1 second left on the clock, referee Lyson waves it off. The internet explodes. The boxing world loses it. And then the story gets even bigger. Wait for it. Because this is the detail that nobody was expecting. Peter Fury, Rico's trainer, the man in his corner for every second of that fight, gets on the flight home after the event. And on that same flight is referee Lyson, the man who stopped the fight. The man whose decision has been destroying boxing's reputation for 48 hours straight. And Peter Fury walks up to him and says, "You made a mistake." And here is what Lyson says back. Via IFL TV on YouTube, Peter Fury reveals the referee's exact words. Lyson looked at him and said, "Peter, I didn't hear the bell." Bro. The referee stopped the fight with 1 second on the clock because he did not hear the bell. He did not hear it. Not because Rico was defenseless. Not because Rico was in danger of serious harm. Not because the fight needed to be stopped for any legitimate safety reason. Because in the noise of the Pyramids of Giza with thousands of fans going absolutely insane, the referee did not hear the bell go off. That is the admission, on a plane, to the man whose fighter just had a world title taken from him. I didn't hear the bell. No cap, that single sentence is more damaging to boxing's credibility than anything else that has come out of this fight. Because it was not a judgment call about fighter safety. It was an accident, a noise problem, a logistical failure at a world heavyweight title fight. And it cost Rico Verhoeven the biggest moment of his career. Here is where every voice in combat sports piles in, and bro, the names on this list keep growing. Jake Paul goes first, and his take is actually the most measured one of the bunch, which tells you something about the temperature of this situation. He says via BBC Sport, "Let him go to the corner and take the minute. But if that's me in Rico's corner, I'm steaming with that stoppage." Jake Paul, being the reasonable voice in a boxing controversy. No cap, the world is upside down. Francis Ngannou posts a photo of himself sparring with Rico and writes, "Outsiders will never win. Trust me, I know. But Rico was the winner tonight. Period." Ngannou has been through this himself. His fight with Tyson Fury in 2023 was another moment where most people thought the outside fighter won and the decision went the other way. So when he speaks on this, it carries genuine weight. Rico himself, and this is the part that keeps making him look bigger than everyone around him, goes on Instagram and posts the official scorecards. No explosions, no accusations, just the cards and 4 words. Leave emotions out of it. Then, read the cards. 1 second left heading into the 12th and final round. Onwards and upwards. Respect to Usyk. It was an honor to share the ring with you. Let's run it back. And then Usyk. who instead of addressing the controversy, instead of acknowledging what Rico did, immediately pivots to his phone and posts on Twitter asking fans what they thought of the fight. The replies destroyed him. Thousands of comments, all saying the same thing. You got bailed out. You were losing. The referee saved you. Give Rico his rematch.
I watched the fight in complete shock, really. Without wanting to take too much away from Rico, I don't think Usyk was in the best condition I've ever seen him in. He had shades of Ngannou Fury. But Rico's good. He can box. I sparred him years ago. He's a very good boxer. He's big and strong and tough. And I thought Rico was in front. I was surprised when I saw the official scorecards. I thought Rico was winning. The stoppage, a poor stoppage, I think. Big heavyweight fight shouldn't be getting stopped like that, to be honest. Yeah, it was a poor stoppage. I think Usyk would have got him out there, the 12th, but that's only an opinion. You know, I'd like to have seen it play out. I think it was a bit unlucky that he didn't get the chance. They're both unlucky because Usyk, the chance to, come back and get a big stoppage in the 12th took away from him as well. So it's a shame.
Here is where the rematch situation gets complicated. And this is the twist that Rico's camp is now going off about. Because while Turki Al-Sheikh, the Saudi promoter who bankrolled the entire event, stepped into the ring on the night and demanded a Rico rematch in Holland, and while he has since confirmed he wants to see it happen, the WBC has a mandatory challenger already waiting, Agit Kabayel, the unbeaten German heavyweight who is the WBC's interim champion. He was literally in the ring after the fight. He called Usyk out on the spot, and his promoter Frank Warren went straight onto social media and laid it out plainly. Agit is the interim WBC champion and next in line. Usyk now either has to fight him or vacate. It's as simple as that. So here is the situation Rico is now facing. The man who arguably beat Usyk for 10 rounds, who had the fight taken from him because the referee did not hear a bell, who is filing a formal appeal, who has the promoter publicly demanding his rematch, is being told to wait, potentially until 2027, while Usyk fights his mandatory first. Al-Sheikh has floated Usyk vs Kabayel in Germany, with the Usyk vs Rico rematch possibly happening in Turkey at Hagia Sophia the following year. 2027, a full year away, after Rico came that close to making history. And here is what makes Rico going off about this so understandable. It is not just about money or pride or wanting another shot. It is about the specific, undeniable, now publicly confirmed reason why the fight ended. The referee did not hear the bell. That is not a controversial judgment call you can argue about. That is not a question of whether Rico was too hurt to continue. That is a documented mistake, acknowledged by the man who made it, face-to-face on a flight home, that cost Rico Verhoeven the WBC heavyweight championship of the world. And boxing's response is, wait a year. Alright bro, here is where I actually land on all of this, and I need you to tell me in the comments if you think I'm wrong. Peter Fury's revelation on that plane is the single most important detail to come out of this entire story, because it removes every possible defense of the stoppage. You cannot argue fighter safety when the referee himself says he stopped it because he could not hear the bell. You cannot argue Rico was in serious danger when the man with the authority to make that call admits he was not even reacting to Rico's condition. He was reacting to silence where a bell should have been. That means the official result of a WBC heavyweight world title fight was determined by a noise problem at an outdoor event in Egypt at the Pyramids of Giza in front of thousands of screaming fans. And Rico Verhoeven, who lost his mother during training camp, who came to Egypt and outboxed the best heavyweight alive for 10 rounds, who beat the count after being dropped, who was still defending himself with 1 second on the clock, is now being told his rematch might not happen until 2027 because the WBC has a mandatory challenger to deal with first. Here is my hot take. Boxing does not deserve the benefit of the doubt on this one, not even slightly. The Kabayel fight may be mandatory, but it is not urgent. There is no reason that rematch cannot happen before Kabayel other than convenience and politics. And if Usyk fights Kabayel first and wins, he will have even less incentive to run it back with Rico than he does right now. Rico is going off about the rematch being avoided because he knows what every single person watching this story knows. The window is closing. The momentum is fading. And the longer it takes, the easier it becomes for boxing to quietly move on and pretend Egypt never happened. The referee said it himself. He did not hear the bell. Rico Verhoeven deserves his rematch, and he deserves it now. Drop your take in the comments. Does Rico get the rematch before Kabayel, or does boxing move on without him?